the virtual cavalcade, because you guys would have been in the Bahamas with us. We would have been in the Bahamas. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah, remember
Me
kids
too.
when they do that whole.
I needed that trip.
Oh my God. But I'm so looking forward to the cavalcade being in the Bahamas next year, as well as Dubai in 2022. I'm so looking forward to that.
Me
So
too.
Laverne, you're welcome to stay and chat, or you want to be put in the backyard, or
The
Put me
backyard.
in the backyard.
in the backyard. Okay. Put you in the backyard here. And Nakia LaShaul, I first met you, I believe, at the Great Midwest Book Fest.
Yes.
Anna Black, I met you. We were traveling the literary circle around the way back in the day. Anna Black, and you've been trials and terror. Nothing is off limits that you want to discuss. You know, we're not going to hit you with anything, blindside you with anything or any. That's not what this is about. You all haven't been to a cavalcade. The cavalcade is really, the readers are here to inform us of everything. Sylvia Day said, I'm so sorry I have to go. This has been so wonderful and informative. I have so many new authors to read. Thank you for having me. My love to you all. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. She stayed longer than, wow, a long time.
Yeah.
And I know Brenda Jackson had slid in for a minute just to see what we were up to. I love that they come to support other authors, but there's Roy Sladen Morton is one of the sponsors. Bunny Irving, Pat Ball Reed was here, Deborah Mitchell, Marilyn Gill, all of them have been very beneficial to the cavalcade, and it was nice to see them to come in the virtual sense, you know, and those are some of the people that buy the most books. And Shannon Harper, definitely, you know, one of our just avid readers across the board, almost all genres. I think there's maybe one or two she doesn't hit, but she will support Black authors all the way down the line. So somebody said, I'm still listening in. I've enjoyed everyone. I'm getting texts, I'm getting calls, I'm getting all of this. People are really enjoying and loving this. So let's start with Nakia. How has it been for you in your writing? Tell us a little bit about your writing journey. And first, let me pull up. I did this nice little graphic because I knew you, as I said, I knew you was coming out of it.
You know what? I asked Anna, oh, God, my hair was so cute.
I love it. I love it.
I was wondering, why are your fists up? Whose butt were you about to kick?
No, the photographer. He told me to do that.
It says
and so I have one very serious and one with that kind of smirk. Yeah.
Yeah, the fists up saying like,
it's like, let's get it.
3:15. Meet me outside, you know.
It be like that sometimes though. But you know what? I asked Anna, I'm like, can we bring our cocktails? Like, I mean, what? No.
I've got this little box of, I got this little thing of cashews.
That's all healthy.
I can't get to no real food. So it's like that. And I have my, I'm just saying, my golden grams. I got snacks. So I haven't eaten. I haven't left this chair.
You have not.
Yeah.
You have not.
I'm going to do.
You're doing amazing. Like, I can't even believe you're like the Energizer Bunny.
Oh, thank you. But I'm like this doing a real cavalcade. I don't sit. I don't eat. I don't enjoy it until everything is done.
Wow.
Get off the computer, and there was a tribe member on with me last night, Lisa Dotson and Stephanie Freeman, and then there was a reader on with me, Deborah J. Mitchell. They didn't let me get off the phone until they knew I was in bed.
Wow.
I sent those last little emails I needed to send, or messages I needed to send to tribe, and I got off. I had to surrender to the cavalcade because in my mind, there's still so much more. There's two more other things I need to do. But I said, let me, whatever, listen to your body. So you guys haven't seen me at a live cavalcade. It is.
No, I can only imagine then, because here you are like going. Like every time I come back on, I'm like, oh my God, You're still laughing. You're still talking. I would have passed out.
Yeah.
You youngsters can't hang. You know,
Just tipped over in the chair
let me tell y'all
in
gotta
slow
remember
motion.
our mothers and our grandmothers, they used to hit the juke joint all night, and then they had to get up and go to work the next morning. Some come from the juke joint, from the club, straight to work. We don't have that stamina. I say that about my son all the time.
I don't.
Like, I gotta take a nap. He's like,
When I was 20, yeah, but today, no.
youngsters, they don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, this is the club right here at home. This is it. We got music, we got libations, we got everything we need right here.
So we can have a drink. We want a drink too.
I know. Go get your drinks, everybody. It's happy hour anyway. It's 5:30 in LA.
Somewhere. I know. Your publishing journey.
Yeah.
What has that been like for you?
It has been, I started it back in 2008. I started going to BWRC, and I went to like their first event. I think it was like 2008, and then the next year I came back, and I'd already published my first book, and then the next year I published another one, and then I think 2 years later another one. But my first book was poetry, which was I've always been in love with Maya Angelou. So like she is my idol. Like I just absolutely love her. I saw her live once, and when she was speaking, I'm like, oh my God, she taught me all that just from reading her books, right? So I already felt so familiar with her. And so my dream was always to write fiction, but somehow that poetry book came first, which was great because it got me geared up to write, to make you feel something in a small amount of words. So then I moved on to my first novel, which was, it was so well received that it terrified me. So then I took like a break because I was afraid to write something else and then nobody's gonna like it, so because I'm a speed writer.
So how did that turn out? How did it turn out with the second one? Were your fears unfounded?
Yes, they always are. If you write it, somebody's gonna read it. If you write it, like that first book, I still have people reaching out to me about that book. Still reading it. It's still my biggest seller. It still sells, and that book is almost 10 years old. But it's still very well received. People still reach out to me just to tell me their experience. That book was about child abuse. So yeah. And then I followed that up with some chick lit, something lighter, which I'm working on the next two. That was a series, so I'm working on the next two for that book that I released, and then I have Estranged. So I took a break from like life kind of got in the way, 2016 to today. Life's still in the way, but I don't know. The thing about COVID is that it's kind of gotten me together. Like I've had time to think. To have my own thoughts versus just work. And, I was typesetting. So I've worked with, oh my God, like everybody, laying out books for them. And this year I said I wouldn't do that anymore. I would concentrate on my work. Because my clients, by the time I finish one book and then I do 50 more, someone else they're back. Like I got a new book and I'm like, but I don't have a new book. So I've kind of said, if you want this, then you got to put your journey first. Like you really can't do both. So I don't really typeset anymore, not so much publishing consultations. So I've just been writing, and now I'm writing my first script, and that's like learning something totally different. I had to teach myself final draft and teach myself like the structure of writing a script, because it's really all dialogue. Like you set the scene, but then it's dialogue. So it's kind of hard because I want to set the scene. I want to do it all. So that's what I've been working on. And I finished this book. I think I finished Estranged, my new book that's coming out in like March, but I couldn't find a cover. So and I'm not going to put the wrong cover on it. And I knew that when I saw the cover, I would know it. So I saw this image. It was a painting, and it was just being sold like a poster. And my graphic artist, she kept going back and forth and saying, well, showing me images that were something like it, but not quite hitting the mark. And then she said, forget it. Let me find this artist. And she found the artist, and he let me use it for my novel. So like, I'm so excited about this book. I feel like, it's a rebirth. I'm back, and I have my writing groove back, which is so important, because once you lose it, you get inside your head and you're like, oh, I can't start writing again. I should just quit, but then when it hits you, when your muse comes to visit you, it's like, this is it. So like, I'm just so excited. Like right now, like my feet are just like doing this, because I'm just so excited to be here, and continue this journey from a different perspective, right? Because like, I'm almost 50 now. So I've learned so much that I need to write about, so much that I need to contribute, so much that I need to say. And I usually write about like families. That's my thing.
Awesome. Anna, your publishing journey. Let me, well, hold up, Chief. You got to do these little sexy graphics. Hold on for a second. Now this one.
Oh Lord, I'm scared. I don't know which one you got.
What we got up here. We don't know what we got. Here we go.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Isn't that a reprint? Because that was one of your first offerings?
That was my very first book, and it is a reprint. It just re-released March 29th of this year. That's my baby.
So what has your publishing journey been like? The highs and lows, trials and triumphs?
Oh Lord, it's rough out in these streets.
In these publishing streets.
Yes, it is. First, I gotta say, before she leaves, I know she dipped in, Brenda Jackson, my Lord. That is my absolute favorite author. I have like all zillion of her books. And I love you, Brenda Jackson. I admire you. You inspire me. It's because of you I write romance. So thank you so much. I had to get that out. That's my goopy moment. But my writing journey has been a bit rocky. I had some, like Laverne said earlier, the only thing I regret is my first publisher. I went through some of the same things when I had to fight really hard for the rights of my books back, which was 7 titles. And after that hurricane or that storm, I ended up getting all the rights to my books back. And 5 of those titles end up getting signed with Urban Books. So I'm grateful they got a new home. And the other 2, I just decided to self-publish. My journey has been great other than the beginning, because I didn't have more opportunities to do things for Carl Weber. I'm in one of his Full Figure series. I'm also with Cole Hart Signatures, so I get to write a different genre with him. And I've done some things under Zane. Actually, me and Shakira, we're in an anthology together called Cougar Cocktails. So I'm so excited to see this brother, because the story in that book, I was like, oh, okay. But
come on now. She said bring the heat. What you expect now?
You brought the heat, my brother. You brought the heat. And I read your other books too, so I respect you so much as an author as well. But my journey has been great. I'm moving over from book to film now. My agent, which Shakira again and I have the same agent, Entice. So my book, The Perfect Love Storm, right now, Breonna Taylor is working on this screenplay. And I just got the rough draft back like last weekend, and I'm so super excited. So it's great. To sum it up, my writing journey has been great. And Nakia is a good girlfriend of mine.
Yeah.
We met in Houston, like what, in 2009?
Yeah.
Or something like that. So we've been friends ever since. So
I think I laid out, now you want to come back too.
You laid out 3 of my books. You did part 2, Split Image, who do I run to now? So you laid out a couple of my books.
Yeah.
What's interesting is as a literary friendship, because sometimes those can be kind of rare, that when Anna, I think you got onto the Cavalcade, the first thing you say, hey, I want to bring my girl, you know, can my girl get in, you know? And I thought that was, I think that is an amazing thing in this industry, that people have long-term relationships in this, and that we look out for each other. Like, I loved how Beverly Jenkins looked out for Piper, and one person said, well, I got my foot in the door, can you do XYZ? I'm kind of like that in some instances, but to see that in this day and age, because a lot of people are just out for self. And that's why people don't understand this tribe mentality of what we have going on as a group, and what we're trying to build, because there's enough for everybody in this industry. And there's so many people that I've heard that have been done wrong in this industry, because people don't understand that you don't have to tear down the strong in order to build up the weak. You don't have to take from somebody in order to make yourself feel good. And that's just, to me, that's the harshest lessons we learn. And I've seen you bounce back, Anna. You came out swinging. You came out strong. You know, everything with the damage that was done to you by a publisher was all over the internet. The thing is, and you had a lot of people backing you up, but we can talk about the teardown. I want to talk about the rebuild. What did you do to rebuild yourself behind that? You can't call it a mistake, because the thing is, you learned a lot from it. It's something you probably wish you had done differently. But now that you know, what do you do? What did you do to build yourself back up?
You know what, to be honest with you, I don't want to say that publishing house didn't cause me to fail. There was no hiccups, because like, although you had these 7 books, I'm a writer. I'm like 36 books in. So I just wasn't going to give away my 6 babies. You know, I just wasn't going to, well, my 7 babies. I wasn't going to let you have those. I wasn't going to let you have any part of my legacy, because that belongs to me and mine. So that was the constant fight about it. If it wasn't for the fact that they're mine, I would have just let her have it. But I said, no. We were speaking earlier when the authors say what they want people to think when they leave this planet. You know, what do I want to leave behind? And what I'm leaving behind belongs to my daughter, her children, and generations to come from my family. So if something pop off in 20 years, 30 years with one of those titles, she can't benefit from that. Her heirs cannot benefit for that. So that's why I fought so hard to get him back. But I didn't fall. I still had opportunities left and right, still had contracts, still pumped books. So it wasn't really a fall. It's just that I wasn't going to give up the fight for my books. It just wasn't going to happen.
And that was good. I mean, it's like your children. You won't let somebody come in and take your children and not fight for custody, court battle, something.
That's right.
So, and I get that, but I like that there was so many people in the industry that came out to support you and everybody else, and saying, hey, come on now. Because there's a lot of, the reason why it continues to happen is because nobody likes to speak out on the dirt that's happening behind the scenes.
That's true.
They just kind of, it happens, and then it happens to the next person, then the next person. Then you've got all these people with, like, people have church hurt, we got book hurt, and they're sitting off to the side, not writing, not fulfilling their dreams, because they can't seem to bounce back or overcome certain things. So you told us, Nakia, about your trials and tribulations a little bit with getting that cover done, and that's awesome that you had the artist to let you license.
Gave me the rights
to license the image. It's awesome. It looks like JD Mason has a cover that looks like it's the woman turned around. She has the yellow flower in her hair, yellow dress. It was on one of her Dragon series book covers. So I'm like, so this is the back half. Indeed. So what genres do you write in?
I write literary fiction, contemporary. Yeah. But I do have one book that's chick lit. After writing Running from Solace, I needed to write something light. So then I wrote Chasity Rules. Yeah, I remember like me and Anna, we are like down, right? I remember I wrote that book, and at the time I'm like, oh my, I quit my job. And so the cash flow was kind of shaky. And Anna said, well, I'm gonna pay to get that book edited for you.
Oh, that's love.
Yeah, she did. She was like, I'm gonna pay for that because you need to put that book out. Remember that, Anna?
Yes, but she can sell mine all she wants to. It's been times that I was going through when I lost my job, that it shut down. They sold the property. She had my back all the way. Still got my back to today. Anything I need, I can call this woman, whether it's just the listen, whether it's financial or motivational. She has my back. So I love this chick to death. She knows
for real. For real. Yeah. So so now my next book will be more contemporary. Oh, and then I'm writing this like really sexy book. Like it's so sexy. And so now I'm a little afraid though, because my readers, when I write sex scenes, they email me like, oh, Nakia. Oh, they be throwing their pearls at me. But yeah, they like, oh, I get inboxes and emails like, oh, Nakia, that sex scene. And I'm like, well, so I don't know if I should write that under a pen name, but I mean, I'm a grown woman. I know a little bit of something about that. So yeah. And that book will come out next summer. It's the perfect hot summer read.
Yeah. Do we want to call it erotica? Do we want to call it that?
It won't be erotica, but it'll be very sexy.
Okay.
And for sure, women empowerment.
Great.
Yeah. Is there any for you? What do you write in, Anna? Because I'm looking at the covers on the back. And what genres do you write in?
I write romance, contemporary adult fiction, a little urban fiction, and a little erotica. I'm trying to move over to suspense, and I've been working on this book entitled "The Blood on Her Stilettos" for like 4 years. But it's like I'm always getting distracted because being under urban books and being under Cohart Signature, it's always something that needs to be done for my contracts. So my side hustle sometimes get pushed to the side, but I just want to finish this book, and I plan to finish this book. But right now I had Now You Want to Come Back Part 2 just released September 29th. They're back. I don't have a release date for Part 3 yet. I also have a Christmas project coming up in December with my pen sisters, Princess Diamond and Tina Marie and Teresa. Then other than that, I have another book called, I don't even want to say, I don't want to announce that yet because I'm not finished. So, but I do have something coming up, hopefully by January. I'm in a process of moving now. Like I was telling you, you say your son lives in Houston. I'm moving to Houston in a couple weeks. So I just got to get my move done first before I can get back to writing.
Yeah, she wait till I move to LA to move to Houston.
But I'm a Chicago native, though. I love Chicago, and when JL was talking about Southside.
Southside, all right.
Southside. When JL was just talking about how he loved the city and I love my city too. I love it. It's just so cold.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, it is. And that's the only thing. I love Chicago, not necessarily all of the stuff that's been going on that's kind of been a little frightening since I'm here by myself, like in some aspect. I've got people close to me, but you know, I still consider with my son all the way in another state, because you know, you like to have that one phone call, like, and he come riding, you know.
Right.
I know my son's in Atlanta now, so
you know that feeling, you know, it's just, there's that distance that, but he's living his best life down there. He's flourishing down there. So it was the best move for him. My best move was going to be being a snowbird and having my spot out there in the Bahamas, you know, give me a spot. That's what I'm saying. But are you guys going to collaborate on anything else besides, I think they heard the erotica thing. Is there anything else that's going to come into the works in another genre?
We should collaborate on something. We did once though. Remember we did that Christmas?
We did a Christmas, anthology
compilation,
yeah. We, I would love to, but you got to think about it. The reason why we don't really collaborate because we kind of write different styles of books. Like I'm more on a romantic side of the spectrum, and Nakia isn't. So that's why we really haven't done a lot of projects because I just write different genres than she does. So hers is always a little bit to me a little racy.
Me?
Racy as a good, like even running for Solace. That book had me like oh my God. Because when I first read that book, that was her first book. I met this woman, we vibed, we got along, but I had no idea what I was gonna get when I started turning them pages. And I was like, oh Lord, this is not the kind of book I thought it was gonna be. It's some real serious shit in this book. Oh, my bad. But
there's that swear jar. Hold on.
Where? That swear jar right here.
But I wasn't, right here. I'm telling you, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, this sister got skills. I mean, she ain't just writing a little love stuff. She writing about serious issues. So I'm like, it made me look at her in a different light. Like, okay, I got mad respect and love for this chick because I didn't expect this. It's a great book, you guys. My favorite. And I do like Chasity Rules, but that's my favorite book by Nakia.
I do write very serious literature, but that's what I read, right? So like I devour books like Home. I just finished reading Homegoing. Oh my God. Like I read it twice, back to back. It was so good. Like that's the kind of heavy reading that I do. So you kind of write what you read.
And I'm like a romance junkie. So I like the boy meets girl, happy ending, la 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 la. That's my thing. I like romantic books. I like love.
Mm-hmm. I want serious strife. I want to destroy the whole world, then put it back together. So yeah.
Where can we find you guys online?
My website, www.NakiaLaShaul.com. Oh, and I have a podcast with Portia Cosby, another writer, called TF, and it airs every Thursday on every platform, Spotify, Google, iTunes, everywhere. And I'm mostly on Instagram at Nakia RL _ the writer. I'm not on Facebook as much as I am on Instagram.
Me, my website is www.annablackbooks.com. At that website, you'll get all the links for my other social media, Instagram, Facebook, and things like that. And I'm kind of like Nakia now. I don't spend too much time on Facebook. I'm on Instagram way more. And I will be having a podcast coming up. We just don't have the date yet, but I'll be on a podcast called The Motherhood with actress Coca Brown, actress Mari Morrow, and actress Tangi Ambrose. So I'm excited about that. And once I get a date and a flyer, I start promoting it and posting it. But we're going to be talking about the struggles of motherhood. You know, my daughter's 22. And I'm still like a mother. Like I'm still doing things like she's not an adult, but it just never ends.
That's awesome. We thank you so much for being on the chat tonight. We're bringing the tribe back in because our brother in the pen is going to do his thing. And we are going to roll into the games. If you guys want to stick around, the games, and we're going to do book bingo. We're going to do library card revoked, and probably one gotta go. So there is that. Just let me know what you want to do. You can go to the backyard, or you can hang on. It's up to you.
Where can I hang to actually do the games? Do I have to be on a panel or in the backyard?
You can be in the backyard and do the games because you can play the games. You're able to win.
Okay. It don't matter. I can go in the backyard.
All right, backyard.
Long as I
I
can play the
can too.
game.
Thank you for having us.
And don't
Thank
trample on the
you.
and don't trample on the freshly cut grass either.
I'm going to say they barbecuing in that backyard by now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So let me do the little housekeeping.